bros? The Aetherdrift spoilers are coming in hot and heavy, man, and I've been staring at them until my eyes bleed from the canary yellow borders on some of these cards. What the heck is this set, man? I don't know. But I'm down to clown with some new commanders. Speaking of which, we got Captain Howler out there. It's a mix between Jaws and Maui from Moana with a sweet cannon on his arm, dude. Neat card, very fantastical, so let's talk about it. But first, let's take a moment to subscribe to the damn channel, buddy. Nikki G is cresting 16,000 subscribers, which is 1,000 closer to 1 million, and that's thanks to you, the patrons and the members and the subscribers out there. I love you guys. Thanks for all the support. Captain Howler, Sea Scourge, 2 blue and a red, legendary creature, shark, pirate. It's a 5/4 with Ward 2, pay 2 life. Whenever you discard one or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. So this fella has no way to get in for damage. Despite being a rather hefty 5/4 for 4 mana, you're going to need a champion, most likely a flyer, to slap in for damage and take advantage of that +2/+0. Now the other thing to point out with this guy is how diesel that effect is. Say you have a little 2/2 out there, right? You cast a Faithless Looting. All of a sudden that little 2/2 flyer slapping in for 6 damage, and you're drawing a card. Now right off the rip here you have some secret tech, and that's the Library of Lang. 1 generic mana artifact, you have no maximum hand size. If an effect causes you to discard a card, discard it, but you may put it on top of your library instead of into your graveyard. So this is great with Captain Howler. If there's something you would rather draw later, this is a 1 mana way to make that happen. It also, listen, you have to remember with this card, it doesn't count costs. If you have to pay a cost, like with Thrill a Possibility, right? As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card, this would not trigger. You would not be able to put it on top of your library. But how about Containment Construct? 2 generic mana, artifact, creature, construct. It's a 2/1. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card this turn. Looks like a Ninja Gaiden enemy out there in the neon darkness, brother. So if you discard some pivotal wheel or creature you really want, when you cast that Faithless Looting or something, just exile it, dude. Still counts for the captain's ability. Oh, and look at this guy. The Conspiracy Theorist is 1 and a red, creature, human shaman. It's a 2/2. Whenever this guy attacks, you may pay 1 and discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards, you may exile 1 of them from your graveyard. If you do, you may cast it this turn. Pretty similar card. It's just Alex Jones out there railing about Epstein's boat, JFK, vaccines, brother. This is a good card for a discard deck. Mitigates that card disadvantage that you're leaning into. Nothing like building a magic deck and slotting in an ancient old elderly lady in there, Riel the Everwise. 1 blue and a red, legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 0/3. Riel the Everwise gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. That's Moana's grandma, dude. She turned into Steve Irwin, brother. This card makes it so you don't run out of gas. Now we are going to weaponize that discard with Glinthorn Buccaneer. 1 red, creature, minotaur, pirate. It's a 2/4 with haste. Whenever you discard a card, Glinthorn Buccaneer deals 1 damage to each opponent. Has 1 in a red, discard a card, draw a card to get a nice little rummaging effect. Activate only if this thing is attacking. This guy's a damn pirate too, man. Looks like Noah's Ark on that pirate ship, dude. You got the sharks, the minotaurs, the bulls out there making unholy love on the love boat. Now this guy's a blast from the past, but really decent card in this deck, Browlin the Sky Shark Rider. 3 in a red, legendary creature, human shaman. It's a 3/3. Whenever you discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Brolin. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. Has red, target shark gains trample until end of turn. So if this fella is out there, you're dealing damage, you're pumping up your commander because he is indeed a shark, you can give him trample. This guy's gonna ride anyone, man. He's out there cheating on Shabraz. This turns all that discard into a viable Voltron knockout blow with Captain Howler. Surly Badgersaur. This guy's 3 in a red, creature, badger, dinosaur. It's a 3/3. Whenever you discard a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever you discard a land card, create a treasure token. We all love those treasure tokens. Whenever you discard a non-creature, non-land card, Surly Badgersaur fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Surly, you jest. No, dude, I never jest. Don't call me surly. Now, of course, in this deck, we want all the wheels, man. We want Wheel of Misfortune, Reforge the Soul, Windfall, Jace's Archivist, Magus of the Wheel, Runehorn Hellkite, These are just the ones from the top of my dome here, dude, and these are great in this deck. And if we're packing wheels, we want creatures that can be alternate win conditions, like the Locust God, of course. How about take a look at this card, man. Change of Fortune, 3 and a red sorcery. Discard your hand, then draw a card for each card you discarded this turn. This is a very pretty card, man. She's sloshing blood all over the place. This is okay with no outside synergy. But later in the game, this just refills your hand and pumps up the jam, dude, and you're drawing cards for all those cards you discarded. And of course, we can't forget about this guy, the Forgotten Creation, 3 and a blue, creature zombie horror. It's a 3/3, has Skulk. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard all the cards in your hand. If you do, draw that many cards. Alright, man, so we're casting, we're discarding a lot of cards. That graveyard might be getting big, right? How do we capitalize on that? Well, we have Kiora the Rising Tide out there. 2 and a blue, legendary creature, Merfolk Noble. It's 3/2. When it enters, draw 2, discard 2. Threshold. Whenever it attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you may create the Scion of the Deep. Legendary 8/8 blue octopus creature token. Wish it had some evasion, but you know what? It doesn't, dude. But you get a big 8/8 creature out there, and that's not bad. But guess what, man? This has some evasion. The Backdraft Hellkite. 3 red, creature dragon. It's a 4/4 with flying. Whenever it attacks, each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. Flashback's equal to its mana cost. It's a great attacker. If you have some instant that allows you to draw and discard or something like that, then it's going to get that +2/+0. It's going to get huge out there, man. Another good one from Foundations, Sphinx of Forgotten Lore. 2 blue, creature Sphinx. It's a 3/3, has flash, flying. Whenever this creature attacks, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. Flashback cost equal to its mana cost. Not bad, dude. How about this guy? The Prognostic Sphinx. 3 blue, creature Sphinx. It's a 3/5 with flying. Discard a card. Gains hexproof until end of turn. Tap it. Whenever it attacks, scry 3. This guy's an infinite discard outlet, right? You attack in, somebody's like, alright, I'm not going to block it. All of a sudden you discard your whole hand, and then you're slapping in for big damage. Now you do want some little flyers out there. Little cards you can get out early that can take damage in for the kill, brother. Siren Storm Tamer. It's a blue for a Siren Pirate Wizard. It's a 1/1. Has blue, sacrifice it, counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. So you get these little effects out. You'll be ready when the captain comes down. Thieving Skydiver. Whenever it enters, if it was kicked, gain control of target artifact with mana value X or less. I love this card. If that artifact is an equipment, attach it to Thieving Skydiver. You have cards like Thousand Face Shadow. It's just a 1 mana 1/1 flyer out there. Dude has that ninjutsu. When it enters from your hand, if it's attacking, create a token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. Token enters tapped and attacking. You also have cards like Balmor, Battle Mage Captain, blue and red, legendary creature, Bird Wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, which are quite a few in this deck, creatures you control get +1/+0, gain trample until end of turn. You know, even the most hardened armies are ill-equipped to defend against an onslaught from the sky. It's my philosophy too, man. This gives your captain evasion as well. How about Haughty Djinn out there, man? This thing's 1 blue for a creature Djinn. It's a star 4 with flying. Power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This is a great card. We also have Thunderclap Drake out there, 1 blue, creature Drake, flying. It's another cost reducer. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Has 2 blue. Sacrifice it. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. You may choose new targets for the copies. It's a 2/1. I mean, the world is your oyster here, dude. You've got a deck with lots of card velocity. You're paying off, discarding, drawing cards. You're doing some very powerful things on a very strict budget, my dudes, and that's better commander. That ward effect is not bad on this guy. Makes your commander a little harder to target and is a great value. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Even if you're unemployed, just keep living, brother. The world is better with you in it. That's also what she said, you know what I'm saying? And the deck I mocked up is under $60, which is not including the commander because it ain't even out yet, man. But, you know, that shell that you're going to build around it can be built very cheaply. Sneaky G, better commander, signing off.